Hello everybody, I'm Erin from Juniper and Oaks. I sell crochet patterns and different fun designs, mostly for home decor patterns using intricate stitches and really great textures. I am so glad that you're here to watch this video. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and ring that little bell and you get notified whenever I come out with new yarn related content. I tend to post crochet stitch tutorials. Sometimes I do full pattern videos like I am doing today. I also do unboxing videos and talk about crochet patterns that I am working on, different podcasty sort of deals where I even interview other crochet pattern designers. Please go ahead and like this video and then comment below with where you are joining from. And if you have any questions about crochet ornament baubles, especially this pattern in particular. I'm going to be walking you through this moss stitch crochet bauble. This is just a solid colored bauble using the moss stitch. Moss stitch is fairly easy. You're just doing a single crochet, chain one, and single crochet, and then on the next row you single crochet in the chain one space, chain one, single crochet in the next chain one space. So you skip over the single crochets down below and you work your single crochet that way. I just am using some worsted weight yarn in one color. This is green, just some scrap yarn that I had on hand. This time I'm going to be using this creamy snow colored. This is Wander's acrylic yarn. 100% acrylic. This is this little softer, shinier, and I'm working up several other Christmas ornament patterns using the same yarn. And so that is why I'm using this up. I had some of this yarn for the Granny's Foursquare pillow that was in the Furls Crochet blog hop in 2022. And then Furls also sent me some Christmas yarn for another, some green yarn for another project. So that's kind of what I'm using that for. This is just left over from my Granny's Foursquare pillow. So let's use that today. And then I'm using a size H crochet hook. This is not wanting to focus, size H. This is also from Furls to use for my holiday projects. This is the Odyssey in emerald. Look at that lovely green emerald color. And this is size H. I have been told that I crochet a little bit tighter, so you might wish to go down a hook size or two, or just work tighter tension, or just see what happens when you work it up. These are fairly quick to work up, so just experiment with this. Let me know. I will try to include gauge in the pattern. I just don't work well with gauge, I guess. Okay, and then the next thing that you're going to need is an ornament. The size of these ornaments are 2.65 inches or 6.7 centimeters. And that's the diameter, so from side to side, not all the way around, but just from end to end. 2.65 inches or 6.7 centimeters. I got a whole bunch of them from Hobby Lobby. You can get them at Joann's, Michael's, any craft store, dollar store, wherever. This pattern is free on my blog, and you can click the link down below in order to get access to that. I am also co-hosting a crochet ornament crochet along with Joanna of High Desert Yarn. This is in the Christmas season of 2022. After Christmas, for 2 weeks, Monday through Friday, one day a week, we are releasing a brand new Bauble pattern, crochet pattern, and they'll be free on our blog. You can also buy the bundle of the crochet patterns, all 10 of them, and you can get all of them right now. So go ahead and click those links down below to learn more information and get access to all of the patterns. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. What we're going to do to start out for round one is we're going to be working in the round. And I make a magic circle. That was a miss. Let me just start that one over. I was not paying attention to what I was doing. I was looking somewhere else. There we go. Inside the magic circle, I am going to do 10 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you haven't figured it out by now, we're using US terms. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. After we've done our 10 single crochets, you take this end here and pull it tight. And just like magic, we have a little circle. Isn't that cute? We're going to slip stitch to our first stitch there to join. I didn't get that whole stitch there. There we go. Slip stitch to join. We're going to be working in the round, and we're going to turn at the beginning of every round. So for round 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And then in each stitch around, we're going to do a single crochet, chain 1. So in the end, and since we started with 10 single crochets, we're going to end up with 10 single crochets and 10 chain 1s. I guess 11 chain 1s since we did a chain 1 at the very beginning. So in every stitch, single crochet, chain 1. Do that all the way around. Okay, here I am at the end of round 2. I've done single crochet, chain 1, and each of the single crochets from row 1. Now I'm going to slip stitch to that first stitch to join, and then for round 2, chain 1 and turn. Now here is where we're going to get into the moss stitch. Now we're going to work into the chain 1 spaces. We're not going to work into the single crochet spaces, which you can see if you see this little V here. That is the single crochet space and stitch. Instead, we're going to work into this chain 1 space. Okay, so we did our chain 1 and we turned, and now we're going to work a single crochet, chain 1, and a second single crochet, chain 1 in that first chain 1 space. And then in the next chain 1 space, we're doing 1 single crochet, chain 1. So we're doing an increase in that first stitch, and then we're going to repeat that around, where in this next stitch we do single crochet, chain 1 2 times in that next space, and then in the next chain 1 space we do a single crochet, chain 1. Just do that 1 time. And then the next space, single crochet, chain 1 2 times. Then single crochet, chain 1 in the next space. I'm going to do it twice here. And once here. Twice here. And once here. And here we are at the end of round 3. Now we will slip stitch that first stitch to join, and we're ready to start round 4. Okay, for round 4, we are going to do another increase round. We're going to chain 1 in turn, and once again, in every, we're going to be working in the chain 1 space, and not in the single crochet space. So here we go. We're going to do a single crochet in that first chain 1 space, in a chain 1, in a single crochet, in a chain 1. So that first chain 1 space, we do single crochet, chain 1 2 times. Then in the next 2 stitches, we're just going to be doing it 1 time. So the next chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 1, and then the next chain 1 space, which is kind of hard to see because it's in between these, that increase right there, you're going to single crochet, chain 1. Okay, so then next we're going to do our increase, where we work 2 single crochet chain 1s in that space, and then the next 2 stitches we just do it 1 time. Single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. Then 2 of them in this stitch, and then we just do it once, and once again. We do it 2 times, and once for 2 times. 2 times here, get tied up, and 1 time in the next 2. Then we chain 1, and we connect here. So that is the end of round 4. Now we're ready to do round 5. Round 5s through 12 are going to be the same, and it's just going to be moss stitch all the way around. There's not going to be any increases at all. We just do moss stitch all the way around. So we chain 1 and return. Here's that chain 1 space. We work a single crochet, chain 1, and in the next we single crochet, chain 1, the next stitch, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. So in every chain 1 space, we're just working that moss stitch. We're just working single crochet in the chain 1 space, and then chain 1, single crochet, 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 chain 1, these stitches are kind of close together. Maybe I forgot to do a chain 1 right there. Single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, all the way around. It's just hard to find that chain 1 space between the increases. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And that's what we want, 20 stitches. Slip stitch to join, chain 1 in turn. So round 6 through 12 are just going to be just like that. I'm not going to show you the video of it. I will just work it up, and I'll meet you at the end of round 12. Something that I like to do while I'm working up these baubles is I like to do a fit check. Make sure I don't need to go down a hook size or pull it out or find a bigger bauble or something, just to make sure that I'm on the right track. And it looks like I am. Okay, I just did my 12th round of this moss stitch bauble, and now I'm ready for round 13. I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and now we're going to start the decreases. So I'm going to, in this first chain 1 space, do a single crochet, chain 1, and then in the next chain 1 space I'm also single crochet, chain 1. Then in the third stitch I'm going to work a decrease. So what that means is in that chain 1 space I'm going to start like a single crochet. When I don't quite finish it off, then I go to the next chain 1 space, insert my hook, pull the yarn through, and then I'll have 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 of those. Okay, do you want to watch me do that again? Pull that out. So I did our first 2 stitches, which were just the regular moss stitch in the chain 1. Now in that chain 1 space, I'm going to insert my hook, pull up a loop, so I have 2 loops on there. Then in the next chain 1 space, insert my hook, pull up a loop, I have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 of those. And that's how we're going to decrease. And then chain 1, like you would normally. Okay, in the next 2 chain 1 spaces, we work 1 single crochet, chain 1. Then in the next single crochet, chain 1. And in that third and the fourth, we're going to decrease by inserting our hook, pulling up a loop, going to the next chain 1 space, pull up a loop, pull through all 3, chain 1. Then moss, moss, and decrease, chain 1. Moss, moss, decrease, chain 1. Moss, moss, decrease. I have a stitch somewhere. Chain 1, in, together. Okay, so now since we've decreased, you should have 15 single crochet stitches and then 16 chain 1s. I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and we're ready for round 14. Round 14, we are going to continue to decrease. This time in the first chain 1 space, we do just a regular moss stitch, and then we decrease across the next 2 chain 1 spaces. So decrease, decrease, and then we're going to alternate. It's regular single crochet moss stitch, and then over these next 2. You know, before we get any further, this is probably where we should add our bauble before we run out of space. Make it a little bit difficult having to crochet around that bauble, but it'll be okay. Okay, we just did 1 single crochet, and now across the next chain 2 spaces, or the next 2 chain 1 spaces, we're going to decrease and chain 1. Then in the next, let's do the moss stitch, chain 1. Okay, so it's going to be kind of hard to figure out where your stitches are because we're stretched out so far, but just try to work in that chain 1 space. This was supposed to be a decrease. decrease, decrease, 2. There's another stitch that's very similar to this. It's called the this is the moss stitch. It's called the mesh stitch. And I have an ornament that features the mesh stitch as well, so be on the lookout for that. Here I'm just trying to figure out what we did. Did you see me mess up and not tell me about it? Not sure I did here, so I'm just going to kind of fudge it. It's supposed to be a decrease. So, 2, 2. It'll all come out in the wash, as they say. It's okay. If I fudge it a little bit, I'm not too worried. Except when I end in a weird spot. Okay. That's all right. I think somewhere in my pattern, I must have not have followed my pattern. In theory, you should end up with 10 single crochets and 11. So we turned. We're going to decrease in each chain 1 stitch all the way around. So decrease in those next 2, through all 3 of those loops. And then we're going to do a chain 1. Then we find our next chain 2 space, and the next chain 2 space, decrease, chain 1. Then we just continue to go around. It gets a little tight, so bear with me. Chain 1. Okay, now here we are back to where we started, and we're going to slip stitch to join, and ta-da! Okay, that's the end of round 15. Should have 10 single crochet stitches and also some chain 1 stitches. Ready to fasten this off and start weaving my yarn. Here I have my yarn needle. I'm going to be sewing almost like a whip stitch through each of these stitches all the way around. Once we're at the end, we're going to cinch it tight around the top of that bauble. Kind of skipping the chain 1 spaces, or skipping those smaller stitches. No terribly big reason. We pull that tight. Let's go. There you have it. There is your mesh stitch bauble. It's fabulous. I really like how that turned out in that snow color, don't you? Tell me in the comments below, what color did you make yours? Have you ever used this mesh stitch? No, not mesh. Have you ever used this moss stitch before? And what did you think working it up in the round like this? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Please like this video so that more people can learn how to make this bauble too. Subscribe to my channel and click that bell to be notified whenever I release another tutorial or yarn related content. You might be wondering, what do I do with my ends? Because I was just wondering the same thing. So with your ends, after you've secured, this isn't going anywhere, this ends. So I just kind of drop it down through there. And then I snip. Don't do anything too fancy. Then if you left this end loose at the bottom like I did, you could have hid it in there when you put your bauble in, but I did not do that. I do the same thing where I just kind of tie it through. If you don't want to cover up your little circle like I did, then we're just going to take that out and make sure we don't cover up that little circle. Here we go. And just like that. That's what you do with your ends. Okay. Make sure you check out the rest of the cowl by clicking the link below. Thank you guys so much. Talk to you later.